In today's episode, we delve into the highly anticipated England versus Serbia match, a clash that has the press salivating with anticipation of pure violence off the field. Could we be on the brink of a tournament marred by trouble, echoing the chaos of the 1998 Marseille World Cup and the infamous image of the Pig of Marseille? We'll also unravel the dark and dangerous world of the Serbian Ultras, exploring a sensational court case shaking their nation. Two men stand accused of leading a football firm that was allegedly a front for a criminal organisation, involved in heinous acts of violence and torture that rival those of Mexican cartels. The Pig of Marseille. All the ingredients were there for the pressure cooker of Marseille to boil over in 1998. On one side, you had the England fans with hooligan tendencies, tanked up and over-ripened by the hot sun, wanting to make some sort of impression on the tournament. On the other side, you had thousands of local North Africans supporting Tunisia and ready to take out their grievances following years of abuse from the local establishment. In the middle were the ranks of nervous, hyped-up police, prepared and eager for confrontation. Sure enough, it all kicked off, and what emerged was this three-sided battle along the waterfront area of the old port. Bottle throwing mixed with flag burning, tear gas mixed with baton charges. There was also the infamous picture of James Shaler, the press dubbed Pig of Marseille, or suburban soccer thug, being arrested and marched away with his sunglasses firmly in place and a St. George flag etched across his stomach, sold thousands if not millions of papers. The front page was the least of Shaler's problems, as he received a 2-month sentence in France for his part in the riots, and then copped for a 7.5-year sentence on his return to England for directing a drug dealing operation from his cell in France, a trip I'm sure he will never forget. We then had the notorious Russian hooligans steaming England at Euro 2016, with scenes of military-like Russian firms attacking shirters causing carnage before being fought off in the back streets by firms including Stoke and a mixture of others. But what are the chances of a similar kick-off in Germany, with the press suggesting violent Serbian Ultras will be 500 strong, ready to go to war with the English? We will start with the facts. The game has been listed as a high-risk match. It's the first tournament Serbia have been involved in for a while, and the authorities believe there will be around 50 affiliated with the football firms like the Headhunters and Gravediggers. Ivan the Terrible, Ivan Bagdanov, an MMA fighter and Partizan Belgrade fan, once led a charge in 2013 against Italy in a game which was eventually abandoned, and he was jailed for 2.5 years. He is a notorious leader of the fiercely pro-Russian partisan Belgrade hooligan element. But Ivan the Terrible is not the only notorious Serbian football hooligan. A huge case is currently being fought out in the courts in Serbia, which has shocked the nation. Veljko Belivuk stands accused of running a brutal crime clan from the stands of a Belgrade football club, but he had friends in high places to help. Arrested in February, Belivuk stands accused of running a crime gang linked to drug trafficking, kidnapping, money laundering, and a string of brutal killings. Long notorious for his violent behaviour, Belivuk nevertheless spent relatively little time behind bars, a fact some have ascribed to the documented connections between his crime gang and state officials of the ruling Serbian Progressive Party, SNS. Some of the footage and crimes that are alleged against Belivuk and his gang are so evil that they would make the Mexican cartels blush. Belivuk is claiming many of their jobs were orders from members of the ruling parties, and a big corruption scandal is engulfing the trial. Despite the notoriety of these characters, whether the partisan fan bases will travel is another matter. Despite the few examples mentioned, there is not a long history of Serbia being a force on the international scene, and despite Germany having a strong Serbia community, I don't think they will have the numbers to cause serious problems. England will have around 250,000 fans making the trip, and as is the norm, a legion of roofers, scaffolders, office workers, brickies, and generally groups of lads out for a good piss-up and a chance to sing some patriotic songs will make the numbers up, rather than serious organised hooligans. That has mainly been the case in recent years, with the more experienced football ringleaders directing the drunken masses of England faithful when the opportunity for trouble arose. The difference this year to past tournaments is that tensions across the Europe are at a peak with the cost of living crisis, Brexit after effects, pandemic, and a general feeling of hostility and anger, which has the potential to explode after numerous pints have been sunk and white powder snorted up the noses. This, I believe, has the potential to kick things off more than any organised violence, and it could be set off through trouble with locals, German fans, Serbians. Any number of scenarios has the potential to blow the lid off the powder keg. Where there's football, booze, drugs, and different nations, I would be surprised if there isn't some front page headlines from the red top press, always salivating over the potential to fill some column inches. Let's hope whatever happens, England come out on top and we get something to celebrate for a change, and Southgate finally proves many of